I'll talk through the news items I wrote down.
Keep it a surprise. Surprise us.
Okay, excellent.
I want to get my news from you.
Hell yeah.
No spoilers for the news, please.
Yeah. I'm going to watch the VOD later.
I've got a few ones that we might think are funny. So
I look forward to those ones then.
I want to get my news from you.
Hell yeah.
No spoilers for the news.
Okay. Yeah, that's it. I've got it all. I've gone through the news sites. I have my list.
Gotcha.
You've collated the news from all the best sources.
Yeah. So, oh, by the way, is everybody cool with it being Gaming Fix as a podcast name before? Because I've said Untitled every time.
Yeah.
Erica, you're muted.
Sure.
Yeah, I'm fine with it.
Yeah.
Oh, sorry, I missed it. Yelling at my husband to look at the cat so he doesn't scream.
Cut to Xavier staring at the cat for an hour and a half.
He literally spent our entire stream like 2 weeks ago squatting in front of his bed, like the cat's bed, just staring at him and playing Solitarica like, for like the 2 hours.
Wow.
Just to keep him quiet.
Bear with me 2 seconds, and then I guess we can start.
But yes, Erica, the question is if we are good with the Gaming Fix name.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
We're good. I'm good.
Okay, and this is episode 4, right? If we're
Yep.
not counting the go-to as episode 1.
Mm-hmm.
We did it. We've done 4 in a row, guys.
Yay.
Tic-tac-toe.
Ooh.
Okay.
Four.
Now, my thoughts would be that we would do news first, and then what you've been playing, or whatever we prefer the other way around.
I don't know.
Consistent if we do it the other way around, because we've done it like
Yeah.
that before, but
That's what I was thinking. Okay, just go the other way around. So we'll do news discussion afterwards, because I think the thing is as well, we're trying to keep to a shorter time frame for everyone involved. So
Yep.
if we run out of if we talk too long about certain news stories, I can just cut the ones that I added that I thought were funny.
yeah, that works.
Sounds
Or we do
good.
like a rapid fire. Okay.
Yeah, lightning round. Okay, I've taken my watch off. I've got my notes ready. Okay.
5, 4.
Hello, everybody, and welcome to episode 4 of Gaming Fix. I am your moderator, chairperson, host, terrible improviser, Sam Harrison. And seated to my, left, east, west, geographically, we've got Alex.
Hey, I really need to clip my fingernails.
And Alison.
Fair. Hi, I clipped my fingernails yesterday. Woo.
Andre.
This really screwed up what I was gonna say. Mulligan. Just say my name again. Say my name again.
And Erica.
I bite my nails so I never have to cut them.
Smart.
I'm actually interested in what you were going to say, Andre. I'm sorry. I just wanted to skip you for the comic effect.
Scream Queen in training, Andre Cole. Please.
So, we're going to shoot straight into the topic of the day today. Well, actually, no, that's later. Topic of the day is news, but for the time being, we're going to talk about what we've been playing. I think 3 of us have the same game to talk about.
I mean, I could talk about something otherwise, but I mean, I'm also okay to just talk about that for 3 times as long as one person will talk about one game.
I don't have a lot to say about my other game, but I feel like I should say something. But yeah.
I feel like I literally haven't played anything else, I don't think, this week. So I will take the unnamed game that we were all playing 10 minutes ago as my game of the week. And Alex, I feel like you can go first,
Great.
if that's all right with you.
You picked the perfect person because I haven't really been playing many games this week.
Okay, Alison.
No. I've been playing this game. I don't know if it carries.
Hey.
I've been playing a lot of
Celeste.
Celeste, which just came out yesterday. Yeah, yesterday. I'm about in chapter 4, and it's really cool. It's kind of got like I'm the kind of person who really likes Masocore games. I'm not necessarily the greatest gamer in the world, but I love them. I finished Super Meat Boy, which was hell. And this is itching the Super Meat Boy itch in a really good way, but it's also way more mechanically approachable. Especially because it has that assist mode thing. I haven't experimented with it much, but I think Alison, you had mentioned that you had kind of poked around with it.
Actually, I haven't, but
Oh, okay. Well, the assist mode exists, and it's supposed to make it a little bit of an easier experience, which is pretty neat. It's a good game. I have nothing super deep to say about it, because I don't want to give anything away, because it's all about mechanics, and it's constantly throwing new mechanics at you. So to talk about those would kind of, pull away from the experience you might have. But it's a really good game. I think it's completely worth checking out. Otherwise, Cheska and I have been playing like an hour or two of Danganronpa again, because she's never played them. So we're going back to V3 at the start, and I know the ending of that game. So knowing the ending and going back to the start of that game is a real mindfuck. So, I mean, Erica knows what the ending is. So, Erica, knowing that ending, they actually set it up really well, but you would never notice it the first time through. Like, a lot of the dialogue sets it up really well, and a lot of the scenarios they're throwing the characters are into, when you look at it and you're just like, what?
Does Jessica know?
She has not figured it out yet. We got to the end of the first trial, and her reaction was a pretty genuine, like, what the fuck? So
it seems like that game throws a lot of those at you.
Yeah, it's really great. Yeah, other than that, not much gaming. We're gonna go see The Shape of Water tonight.
Woo!
Nice.
Yeah,
That's cool.
so
I really want to see that.
Well,
movie.
you can't say that. You can't say that.
but yeah, other than that, not too exciting. So that's all for me for the moment. I'm more excited to hear about the game that you guys are talking and pussyfooting around.
It's a surprise. How about Erica? Why don't you go next?
So this was the game I would have talked about last week if I didn't have that horrible migraine. But I played a visual novel that I liked. So, that's the first one that's ever happened about. I mean, not that I have a vast experience with them.
You finally got to Dream Daddy.
I played about 30 minutes
Panzer
of Dream Daddy, and I fell off of that real quick. But I did Dream Daddy and I did Doki Doki Literature Club, and I did not like either one of those at all. So I was complaining to my friend Chris about it, and he recommended Hatawa Shoujo, which
Oh,
I
yeah, I've
mean,
heard of that.
yeah,
Yep,
first
familiar with that too.
it's free, so I was like, okay, I could commit to free, and I can also commit to like 8-ish hours for a playthrough. So I played. I got 3 endings on that now. I've been really liking it a lot. You play as a boy who has a heart condition. He ends up having like a really bad heart attack at the beginning. And so he gets transferred into a school for students with disabilities. And, you have your pick of like 5 to 6 girls, and you kind of just try to date them. I don't think it's anything different than most visual novels are, but that's just my very limited experience with that genre. But I thought the game, handled the disabilities these students have very sensitively without just like dancing around it, you know, like they were explored in at least the playthroughs that I went through, and it seemed like everybody had all of the disabilities were put to the forefront, but that wasn't what made the game so good, you know, like the writing in that is really good. I feel like they capture the way teenagers speak to each other pretty well. Like, I mean, there's sex in that game, and I feel like the sex is captured well in terms of what teenage sex is like, where it's a little awkward and a little uncomfortable. And I thought that was like done and handled really well. I was surprised by that. Because, you know, I have kind of a bias about visual novels as being like a game that like dudes just jack off to, you know? So I was like, okay, you know, the porn's coming, the sex is coming, you know, it's going to be aggressive, it's going to be in your face, and it's not going to really fit with the rest of this. But it took 4 chapters to get there, and it was, you know, I felt it was earned.
Awesome.
Yeah.
And is it on Steam or is it just a free download?
It's free download.
Cool.
Yeah,
it has, if I recall, when it came out, or not when it came out, but a few years ago, I saw some writing about it, and it does have like some like technically like adult enough that like they would have to patch it on Steam. But all the writing that I saw around that game when it came out was exactly what you're saying, like how maturely and how maturely it handles that subject, and it's not just like just porn. Like it's much more meaningful than that, and like there is some like erotic imagery in it, but it's not offensive or over the top or insensitive, and that it just handles the whole subject very intelligently.
Yeah, I would agree with that.
Excellent. Okay, Alison, how about yourself?
My game is the same as Alex's, which I played a lot of Celeste. Before this week, before that, I didn't really play much, so I was a little bit wondering, what am I going to talk about? But I ended up getting Celeste, and I really enjoyed it. I'm not as into the masochore genre of games. Like, I didn't get that far into Super Meat Boy. I liked it, but I didn't really, like, I wasn't that good at it, and I didn't really have when I first played it, at least, I didn't really have the persistence to get through some of those hurdles. But I do have like a very deep love for platformers. Super Mario World is one of my big childhood games that I grew up on. And Shovel Knight is one of my favorite games of all time. So this is one of those where it's kind of scratching that itch. And then also I feel like it is kind of more accessible into that kind of a genre. Even if you don't necessarily use the assist mode, there's lots of ways that you can make the game easier or harder for yourself. For example, they have a lot of collectibles, which are strawberries around all the levels, but basically those are just completely optional. If you want to grab them, great. You can, at the end of each level, it'll show you how many you've grabbed out of all of them, which, so it's like, it adds a little bit of extra challenge, but those are just completely optional. And it feels like there's a lot of care that went into this game and making it accessible for people, but also has that level of difficulty if that's what you want. And I've been enjoying that. I'm still on level 3, but I'm just about done with it. And it's been great on Switch, to the point where I think I might have to get Super Meat Boy on Switch because it seems like a pretty perfect platform for this type of game.
It would. Hey, Alison. When playing that game, have you run into the ways that you can kind of take alternate paths? Like, there's obviously the main path you can take, but sometimes there's like shortcuts that you might not notice.
Yeah, there's shortcuts, and there's also like little extra rooms that you can just find. Or I mean, I feel like there's a ton of stuff in this game that I haven't seen. Like, I look at the end of the game, and I generally try to grab every strawberry that I run across. And you see all the ones that I just didn't see. Yeah. It's like, okay, so I thought I was going around on, trying to check everything, but I clearly just missed a ton of stuff. So it's fun to I'm right now trying to just beat this thing and then maybe go back to grab all the strawberries and do some of the B-sides, which are like a lot harder than the main game.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Cool. And you're
Awesome.
both playing that one on Switch?
Mm-hmm. Yep, I have it on Switch.
Hmm.
I'm still at that point where I'm like, if something's on Switch, that's the platform I'm getting it on, pretty much.
When I finished Oxenfree last week, and I think we talked about this between here and then, but I did really like the ending. I like the way it went. But when I was playing Oxenfree, I was like, I just want to play something else on the Switch. Like, I was searching through the store, like trying to find something that I could spend money on. I ended up downloading the Dragon Quest builders.
Is that out on Switch all the way now?
It's out on Switch in like 2 weeks, but the demo is out.
Got it. Okay.
So PSA, if anyone hasn't played that game, it's a really, really cool,
I haven't.
fun demo.
That seems like the platform to play it on too.
I think it might end up being a good train game.
Yeah.
So Andre and Pat, both of you guys have brought other games than the game that I've chosen for my game of the week that we've been playing together today. Andre, do you want to go first?
Sure. I'm just gonna say right off the bat, Dragon Ball Builders sounds like a really cool game.
Yeah, it does.
I don't know what that would be.
It does. Yeah, it
And
does.
you build
I
power
play it.
levels.
Build capsules. You would build capsules.
Yeah,
then
You
you
you-
build
go
power
in.
levels, and you know it.
I don't know, but I'm gonna steal Sam's thunder and say the game we've all been playing is Dragon Ball Fighters. Anyone?
I've been playing it too.
Yeah. I've only been playing it a little bit because Sam's game has been taking up most of my time. I've been working around in the training mode, trying to like figure out combos and stuff, so I can figure out like what characters I actually like. Just because it like normally in a fighting game, I can just like pick, okay, I like this one character and then go. But this game is like a 3v3 tag system, so I need to find 3 characters I like.
Right.
So there's that. I've messed around in the story mode and like the arcade mode and stuff. Story mode is weird because it's like framey in the cutscenes.
Huh.
It's all in engine. It's not like anime stuff. It's just in engine cutscene. But the so it's like almost visual novel. There's not like a ton of animation, but it's like framey. It's odd.
It's weird.
And you're playing on the regular PS4.
Yeah, regular PS4. It doesn't like hurt the experience because it's not like these crazy animated cutscenes or anything. Everything's mainly happening in the fights, but it seems like the AI isn't scaled up in difficulty or anything. I didn't see a difficulty slider, so it's pretty just like kill this guy real quick and then see the story. So that's kind of a bummer. I like having at least a little bit of challenge, but the arcade mode is good for that. Because in the story mode it's just 1v1, at least what I've seen, whereas the arcade mode is actually 3v3. The loot system seems fun. Kind of like you get Zenny, which is their in-game currency, and the currency for the world of Dragon Ball, and then you use 1,000 of it to buy a capsule, and the capsule has like lobby characters and colors and backgrounds for your your like fighter card that people see and things like that. So
That's cool.
Good stuff like that. I look forward to getting more in depth. I'm tentatively doing like a community tournament in March, participating in.
Sweet.
So I want to get good by then. But
Cool.
Yeah.
Awesome. And Pat, how about yourself? What you've been playing?
So I actually went back because I was just like really, really, really wanting to play the game that we've all been playing. So I spent a few nights this week going back and playing Middle Earth: Shadow of Mordor, the old one, 2014 banger, if I remember correctly. Because I never finished it, and I got Shadow of War on pretty heavy sale over the Steam holiday sale. And I got about halfway through Mordor last time I picked it up, and I'm kind of back to that point now. And that game deserved the accolades it got. Then that is just a fun ass video game. Just like I was wondering if it was going to hold up at all because I remember really liking it that year, but not finishing it. And then I was kind of thinking like, I don't know. There's been a lot of these kinds of games that come out since then, but it is still really, really, really good and really, really, really fun. And if you haven't played either of those games and you have any love for like just open world action, I strongly recommend going back and picking it up because you can get the complete edition, like even at full price for like $15-20 now, I think, on like Steam and stuff. And just a cool game. I don't really have a ton else to say on it because it's old and has been talked about a lot in the past. But
it is the rare, it is the rare game that comes out and is exactly what it said it would be.
Yep.
And it like the Nemesis system worked exactly how they said it would, and it was just it was Batman combat and like an open world thing. It was like, okay, I expected what I got and I liked it, so cool.
It's just really fun to clear that map too. Like all the collectibles and side missions are awesome. And you get into cool scenarios like there's a set of side missions for each of your 3 main weapons, your dagger, sword, bow, and like I played one the other night that was like there are 100 orcs. They are all attacking you at once, and you have to kill all 100 of these orcs. And you see that, and you're like, holy shit! And then you just Swiss cheese 100 orcs, and that stuff is really fun. It's a kind of power fantasy game, but it feels like good about it, and like you can enjoy it rather than overthink it too much. I think, which is a problem I run into with a lot of those open world games like that.
But how's Gollum in it?
Huh?
But how's Gollum in it?
I remember not being crazy about the story liberties that they took back then, but since then I've mellowed a lot on. I still have a lot of reverence for Lord of the Rings. It's like one of my 3 favorite novels, so I care a lot. But I've kind of relaxed a lot on. I see it almost like fan fiction at this point. Not that I'm denigrating fan fiction at all, but like in comparison to the original work, and that it is cool. I don't know. The story stuff is fun. Gollum's a fun. Like the stuff they do with him is really cool. I didn't get to the part in the story where you learn that the elf Wraith is Celebrimbor, and like the way that that's revealed and Gollum's reaction to it is cool. It's actually pretty interesting, the stuff they play with in the story.
Did you play Shadow of War last year?
No, so that's kind of why I'm playing this, because I did pick it up in the sale because I'd like to play it this year, but I haven't touched it yet because I wanted to go back through and play Shadow of Mordor first. It's not that long of a game. You can get through it. If I buckle down, I could finish it next week and probably 100% it.
The way that you're talking about Shadow of Mordor, it's kind of the way that I felt about Watch Dogs 2 in 2015.
Yep.
16, sorry. Like, I loved that game. It's one of the only full retail games that I have a platinum on. And just like, I absolutely love that game. I really, really wanted to play more of it, but there was just nothing left to play.
You're blowing my mind right now, Sam.
I definitely felt.
Sorry for the listeners at home. During that conversation, I was washing up a cup and putting it in my dishwasher.
Anyway, Shadow of Mordor, good game. Everyone should play it if you haven't. It's cheap.
I agree. It does sound like it's a good game. I also played it back in the day. I really enjoyed it. So I think we've been skirting around a tiny release out of I think they're called Catacomb.
Catacomb. Yeah.
It's a game called Monster Hunter World. It's the game that I decided to bring with me and stole from Andre and Pat, who are also playing it. In fact, we played together this evening for the first time.
This morning.
Which is pretty cool. Oh, sorry. It's 1 minute to 11 for me.
It
but
is.
1 minute to 8, I believe, for Andre.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, so this is the first time I've played more than 3 hours of a Monster Hunter game. I think since Thursday afternoon, because I bought it from the Australian PlayStation Store so that I could play it early. I managed to, well, weirdly, even though games are super expensive in Australia, because like something's gone on with the currency conversion, so they're now just the same as they cost over here. So I managed to pick up Monster Hunter World for £50 in English money, which is exactly what it sells for on the English PSN. So easy money. And yeah, no, it's the first time as I said, first time I played more than 3 hours of a Monster Hunter game, and I still feel like I'm kind of doing everything wrong. I'm definitely still button mashing loads, and like I'm trying to pull back on that. But I think it's like, so I'm playing with the hammer. Are you guys kind of switching around, or?
No,
Yeah.
I've been pretty exclusively using the charge axe myself.
I go. My main is the charge axe, but I have messed with the insect glaive, and I use the great sword for a hot minute.
Yeah, so like I've only used the hammer, and like I'm struggling to see how I could get the same satisfaction from another weapon. Like when like my fiance was sitting next to me on the sofa today while we were playing, and she was like, "Oh, could you stop just like calling out every time you get a great hit?" I'm like, "No, it's too good." Like,
Yeah.
So the hammer has basically 2 modes of attack. Is like a kind of a 3-hit side swipe combo, and then 5 hits, which is just over the head, double hand, like a children's toy. It's literally the same motion, just up, down, up, down.
Let me ask you though, have you tried the charge axe?
I tried all the weapons in the beta, and the hammer was the one that I got on with the least.
That's right.
But I was also told that it was really important for capturing monsters.
Yeah.
So I thought, yeah, I was like, well, I'll give it a shot. And I've been really, really enjoying it. I feel like tomorrow is the day to force myself to try out other stuff.
So yeah, part of the reason the hammer is so satisfying is because the way that game handles like impact with weapons. Like when you knock a monster over, like the screen will freeze for a second, and there'll be like but the monster will keep moving, but there'll just be like the screen shake, freeze as you're like mid swing, and the monster will collapse. And just hitting shit feels really good with that hammer.
Yeah, the animation in that game is like the real. There's a lot of obvious like gameplay improvements to this game over previous games in the series for sure, that are maybe like more important. But the thing that has struck me the most in playing it has been how fluid and fantastic the animation work is, and not just the canned animations themselves, but the way that the player animations interact with monster animations, which interact with other monster animations and environmental animations. It's like it's incredible. I would love to see some kind of dice talk or something about how they animated this game.
Most importantly, though, how are the palicos?
Well, the palicos are 10 out of 10. Fantastic.
Yeah, I'd say 11 out of 10. Great boys.
Sure. Whatever.
Yeah. So we could talk about palicos for a minute. Mine is named Catkarot. That is a parody of Goku's given name, Kakarot.
Yep. Oh.
So Catkarot, and one of the first armors you can make for your palico has kind of like these yellow like strands. So I gave him that so he looked like he was Super Saiyan 3.
That's super good.
That's so dumb.
When I designed him originally, I just gave him ears that stuck straight up, and I made the top of his head yellow, and then like the rest of him white, so he looked like a person with yellow hair. So he looked like he was Super Saiyan.
My palico is Barry, and there's an exact copy of my white cat Barry.
Except that
he's long haired, yeah.
Yeah,
So
you
0 out of 10 for palicos for actually representing my furry son. But he had a fake mustache and a turban on until very recently. So
Yeah.
that was a great time.
Wait, the fake mustache is gone?
Yeah, the fake mustache is part of the turban hat,
Oh,
and it's
Yeah.
never explained.
What armor set is that part of?
That's the bird, the bird dinosaur that steals the eggs. Kulu, Kulu, something.
Yeah.
I can't remember any of the monsters' names apart from Jagras, and yeah, I think that's it actually. Yeah, it's extremely satisfying. I think a big part of the thing that's pulled me in, especially like even being able to play solo, it still feels very satisfying to me. In fact, I think our 3-player multiplayer session earlier was like the time I found it quite difficult.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I think it's because we've gotten used to having that support.
Yeah, from the Pelican stuff.
Yeah, so your AI cat buddy heals you and gives you little like healing potions.
I may invest in crafting up a horn so that I can try that out for the next time we play.
I have actually already crafted up a horn, which is basically a hammer that you also play as a bagpipe. So you'll like overhead smash something like a baseball bat, and then just like pull it up to your mouth and go like. Boom, boom, boom.
Yeah, every time you hit something with it, you play a note, and then if you play enough notes, you'll play a song that provides a buff for your teammates.
Yep,
it's an incredibly great idea, which I'm all aboard on. And I like playing the hammer, which is a blunt weapon, so I feel like it'll be quite an easy transition. I also I watched the Giant Bomb quick look of it, and I was like, oh, I need to learn how to play with a bow. It just looks like a lot of fun because like the bow's kind of like a shotgun.
Yeah, I didn't like the bow at all when I first started, but that was the only other one I tried. But I don't know that I was approaching it the right way, so it might be better than I was thinking.
Yeah, Jason's doing some like high level play with the bow, and it's quite good.
I would not want to use a bow in single player, but if we got together to play again, I would be curious about using one.
Yeah.
That's one of the improvements they made was in previous games, you could not move while shooting. And now you can.
Yeah,
it was terrible.
Yeah.
And the inventory is so much better. The quick menu is like amazing because you don't have to cycle through like every item in your inventory to use them because you can't organize your inventory in a meaningful way. It's just the inventory auto organizes in the like usage bar. So that was like a smart thing to give a quick use bar. Like as far as items, like there's not really a huge reason to use a lot of them until you get into like the later game hunts against tougher monsters, but I should probably practice on using that quick menu bar and figure out how to assign things.
I think I want to maybe learn a little bit of bowgun, since bowgun can heal other teammates, which you don't get with basically like the horn can do a heal, but you've also got to be up close. So I think like maybe the bowgun is a good shout for a support class as well that I want to try learning. I think like one of the great things I think about Monster Hunter so far is that like anytime I'm like, oh, if I want to try another weapon, I've basically just unlocked a new game. Like I'm fighting the same monsters, but like the entire control mechanic changes. Like the way you roll changes, the way you run changes. It's really clever and really smart.
Yeah,
it's the kind of game I've wanted to get into for years, and it's finally accessible enough for me to get into it. Like I've never been able to play Dark Souls or Bloodborne or any of those, even though like the way that the story, you kind of like make your own story and find your own stuff, like find your own lore, like sounds incredible. I can't play those games. They're too hard for me.
I think the thing about Monster Hunter that's different than that to me is more appealing than Dark Souls. I like Dark Souls too, but in Monster Hunter it's more of a progression loop of crafting stuff and then having better stuff and then crafting more stuff and having better stuff. Whereas in Dark Souls, it's definitely more of a point A to B kind of game. to get through the game, and you level up along the way. And I don't think one is necessarily better than the other. I just think that it makes Monster Hunter a little bit, for me, more replayable. Not obviously, people have run thousands and thousands of hours out of trying stuff in Dark Souls, so clearly that's not true for everyone. But Monster Hunter story is like straight garbage if you're actually trying to, like, there's no story there. It's like there's a big dragon, you gotta capture the dragons, kill them.
It's a bit more of a narrative through line than previous games have had, so maybe that'll help pull some people through. But yeah, it's a lot of
there's no named characters in the entire game other than the ones that you yourself name.
What about that cat that was all about the max gains or whatever?
Meowscles Chef.
I guess you could argue that that's his name. I'm pretty sure that that's just a description of what he is using a cat pun, but we could say his name is Meowscles Chef.
Yeah, for someone who uses a lot of cat puns, Alex, I'm surprised that you've not got straight on this game.
Yeah, you're right. I should.
There's a lot of cat puns. Like, I would say every 1 to 5 minutes there's a cat pun.
Oh my gosh.
And it's weird as well because, like, I think that this is tapping into the same thing that I was getting from Diablo, where, like, I used to try and grind best rolls on weapons, and I think I probably have about 1,000 hours in the PS4 version of Diablo, and we get, like, a lot of stuff will be like, oh yeah, I've almost got this, and like, I would grind for like the Hellfire rings, where you had to get like 4 specific drops off of 4 boss level monsters that were incredibly hard. Like, they had like a 1 in 20 or 30 chance to drop, so like 5%, 10% maybe. And I would be farming those over and over and over, listening to podcasts, things like that. And like, I think that Monster Hunter is going to fill that loop, but it also has a lot more game. There's a lot more game there. Like with Diablo, I got to the point where I could literally like hold down right trigger and walk, but I could take on bosses on like Torment 5 or whatever without even really looking at the screen. But Monster Hunter, I don't think will ever be that. So it's interesting to kind of have that loop that I got from like the most addictive game I've ever played in a game that has a lot more to it.
So is it? Yep. Would you kind of think of it as like MMO Raid the game?
It feels like a lot of the loop from MMO style stuff, but with a lot more. But obviously, crafting is huge. Like, crafting is like the second biggest element in the game, apart from hunting the monsters. So it's like, oh, I had to hit this particular monster on the face so that I could get a skull bone, because I need a skull bone to make my helmet, or something like that.
That's where like the true difficulty comes into play, is when it's like I'm gonna need Aginath venom sacs to make this Aginath armor that I want to make. And to get that venom sac, you have to hit the venom sac on the monster that is moving around trying to kill you, and break it off. Like, so it's like MMO, like, sort of in that you can play it kind of forever, but I don't know that like mechanically it's so much more. The combat is much more like an animation priority. Like, I don't really want to compare it to Dark Souls too much, but that's probably the easiest point of comparison for the combat.
I would actually say Horizon is the easiest point of comparison.
Maybe
take away the forgiving nature of Horizon.
Yeah, Horizon's so much. I'm not knocking Horizon here, but like, because of the nature of Horizon, there isn't a ton of. There's only the 2 weapons that you use for the game. Well, I guess there's like tripcasters and stuff, but it's like. It's so each melee weapon in Monster Hunter is, like you say, a completely different game. So it's super, super, super challenging to master each thing and understand how each weapon really works and learn the combos and stuff. So I don't know. It's kind of singular. I don't know that I would say it's like anything in particular, because even the crafting is different than MMO crafting. Because you're trying to get like specific. Like, you only need 4 things to craft this armor, but they're 4 very specific things that you have to get in very specific ways while fighting the monster. So it's a little bit different than like grinding for materials, like a lot of people characterize it.
And it's not just like kind of going back to the MMO thing. Like an MMO, you go into an area and then you fight like the boss or whatever in this like big arena. Whereas in Monster Hunter, the entire level is the arena. You're running between like different biomes, like forests and lakes and mountains and things, and each area has its own like geography, so you're having to, or like topology, so you're trying to like, oh, I'm going to climb up here and then I'm going to jump off so I can hit him from above and then maybe mount the monster. So yeah, it's like depending on where you're fighting the monster also makes it a totally different game.
Yeah, and like I'd say, if you didn't hate the Horizon combat, like if you actively liked it, like when I was playing Horizon, it felt like easy Monster Hunter.
Yeah. Fighting like the Thunderbirds and whatever the T-Rex and like the really big monsters and that are not similar.
Yeah, I think holistically it actually is a pretty good comparison. Just that the combat in Monster Hunter is a lot more
involved.
Yeah, it's a lot more involved and complex.
And harder. You die.
Yes,
really
definitely harder. Yeah.
Yeah. I don't want to take up too much of the podcast just talking about Monster Hunter. Mostly because then I can go and play it.
You have to go to bed.
Yeah, I do have to go to bed. I'm already probably in the
stream Monster Hunter at some point.
Yeah, I think maybe we should stream tomorrow or something. Tomorrow morning, my time. Late for you, Pat. Late for everyone. God knows.
Like 6 p.m.
We'll see.
Yeah. But yeah, so it was just way better than I was anticipating. Yeah, I think even, and I was very hyped. Like I was like, everyone's saying good things, and I think this is the first one I'm really going to give it a try. And I think it boosted my confidence a lot, being able to beat every monster in the beta. Because I probably would have been terrified that I'd wasted my money otherwise. But I kind of knew, I was like, right, I can take down Nergigante in the beta. That means I'm not terrible. So, although I did faint to Nergigante the first time I found him in the game. I want to relate one cool moment, and I'll do it quickly, and then we'll go on to the main topic, because I can see some yawning in the rest of the cast here. So Andre and I last night, we jumped into a quick hunt to fight. I know it was this morning for me, last night for Andre. We jumped in to fight a like giant fish monster that like swims around underground, and we basically took it almost all the way down, and it ran off to another zone. And in that zone, it got into a fight with another monster. And Andre and I were like, well, we could use the parts from the other monster. So we split off, and he took on one and I took on the other. And like then we met back up together, took out the second one, and went back and killed the first. And it was so much like, it was really what I like. It felt cool. It felt like we'd organized something and done something really awesome. Yeah, that was like my favorite moment so far, apart from, I would say actually, the hit I got on that Anjanath literally just before we stopped playing. I managed to finish the finisher for my combo on its face, and it was they react, like the monsters react when you hit them in the face with the hammer. They like shake their heads and like stumble backwards, and it's very, very, very satisfying.
That's cool. It makes it sound like
does anyone have any?
Sorry, I was just gonna say, it makes it sound like the monsters and the creatures and everything kind of have their own not personalities, but like they behave how you would expect an actual animal to behave.
Oh, they do. Yeah. Which actually can lead to some empathy problems at times for me a little bit, but it's a video game, so.
I think that's kind of why I haven't picked it up. Is just that I don't.
That's a reasonable reason I want to play it, because they do give them a lot of character, and sometimes I'm like, you're limping and it looks pathetic, and you're crawling in a corner and hiding.
That thing would burn you to a crisp as soon as look at you.
I know, but like I don't know. It's like something about the way, like I mean, I've only seen some gameplay footage of this game, but it's just something about the way that they move and limp, and you hit them in a certain spot, and you can see where you hit them, and it just like a little too much.
Oh,
For
I get
me,
that.
I guess.
Yeah, I think
Too
that's totally reasonable.
I was
Yeah.
fighting a Toby earlier on, and I was really angry at it because it killed me like 3 times in a row. And I came back with better gear and was like, "How about now, bruh?" And like, absolutely destroyed it. And as it was like slowly limping away, I was like, "Oh god, that's a really sad-looking limp."
Austin Walker wrote a really good piece that talks a lot about like the empathy and the scale of the game, and so you can either go read it on Waypoint or it's in their Waypoint Radio podcast feed. He did a reading of it.
There's a YouTube version as well.
Yeah, I saw the YouTube version, and I thought it was very good, and it kind of echoed the problems I see myself having with that game. So I think I'm gonna probably not buy that one.
Well, Erica, I guess I could loan you my Australian PSN account, and you can give it a try with us if you like.
Maybe I will.
But yeah, does anyone else have any questions about Monster Hunter before we move on?
Nope, I just picked it up.
Not really. I'm just intrigued by the fact that you guys have been talking about it being a fairly accessible entry point to Monster Hunter. Just because I've tried 4 and Generations on 3DS, and I've like played a few hours of them, but I didn't really get into them. It felt like there was just like this giant knowledge that was all given to me at the beginning, and I'm like, I don't know what to do with this. So the fact that it feels like that it's the first one that some of you are getting into is kind of reassuring and kind of made me want to get it.
I would say that at this point, I wholeheartedly recommend it. And this is coming from someone who's,
Cool.
like I was saying before, I'm pretty certain I'm playing it wrong. I'm doing things in the wrong order. I'm forgetting to do stuff. But I'm still having a good time. It's not punishing me for being bad at the game.
Yeah, there is still like a lot there. There is not a less game, but like there are some quality of life improvements that make it easier to get into, and maybe things that you would expect to be there maybe. But there's still a lot of like other like hidden systems, and like, oh hey, we planted this thing, and if you put like plant other plants near it, it'll grow more plants. I'm like, okay, well I guess I have to come back here like every couple hunts and check in on what was growing. And
So it's Mario
stuff
Odyssey.
like
I actually, for real, skip a lot of the side stuff tutorials and just watch video explanations on YouTube.
Yeah, you can do that.
That might
really
be the way to
way
go.
Yeah, that's the way to do it, because the game doesn't have like actual tutorials for the weapons. Like, you know, you can go to training and it'll be like, hey, here are some combos, but you're not going to get like, how does this actually work and what does it mean, without going online and looking it up.
They didn't explain loads of the combos for the hammer, so I was like finding stuff by doing it or by watching Griffin McElroy stream it on Polygon, because he's playing hammer, and I was like, obviously great minds think alike, but like, yeah, there was a couple of combos that I saw him do, and I was like, and I like rewound the stream and was like watching what his character was doing, and like that was really cool. But yeah, Alison, it's definitely like super easy to get into.
Yeah. I don't mind learning while I play. It's just some of the other ones, it always felt like they were just like dumping all this new stuff on you and going, figure it out, and in a way that wasn't always most immediately understandable. So I think I'm probably going to get it. I was tempted, and actually at the store at Target recently today, I was like, should I get it? And then I looked and they didn't even have it in stock. So
wow, they're sold out. Obviously, it's a great game. So, for our main feature, we are going to talk a little bit about something that we said we were kind of going to start talking about in podcasts, but never really got to, which is talking about the news. So, first news item for video listeners, this is what the mustache looks like.
Yeah.
Calico. It's extremely good.
oh my gosh, that's great.
And he's got a guitar. His weapon is a
I
guitar.
love it.
This game is a
Yeah.
dress-up simulator with monster hunting and the like.
Yeah, it
interstitials.
really is.
Yeah. I'm gonna go. I went through the Polygon's news feed because I feel like they're probably the best at collating and also tagging users' news. Kotaku is extremely bad at that. So I went through Polygon and I picked out 10. That was well picked. 10 pieces of news, and I thought we could talk about them in the order that they broke. So number one, Sony is launching PlayStation Amiibo that don't do anything in the game.
I was gonna say they're not amiibo; they're just little stupid little figures.
They're called like Takuto or something.
Hey, here's Pat. Amiibo are stupid little figures too.
Yeah, I don't own any, so
I own 73 Amiibo, and I bought another one this week. I managed to pre-order the Detective Pikachu Amiibo that is like 4 times the size of the regular Pikachu, but is still exactly shaped and sized like an Amiibo, and I cannot wait for it to arrive.
Do you get these because you like the look of them? Do you like collecting stuff? Like, I'm trying to understand from somebody who wants absolutely nothing to do with Amiibo. What's the draw here?
I love Amiibo because I like collecting.
Okay.
And I just don't think like
I don't want any extra junk in my home ever.
Who said they're junk? But no, like I can't like it's hard to describe. I think I showed you my Amiibo collection last week or something. But they're like I just really love they're really well designed, they're really well made, they're super solid and stable and like great to have on the shelf because they're all like uniform. Like they all have that same base that is the same size, apart from Detective Pikachu.
So how is that gonna? So you use that on like, let's say, what, a 3DS or like a controller? Mm-hmm. How does that giant ass figure to stay on there?
It doesn't have to stay on it.
Oh, you just scan it.
Oh, you just tap it? Okay, never mind. That's not as dumb then.
I don't know.
Funny,
it almost is more dumb when you think of it that way. Like with little codes on them or something that you could put in.
I'm going to share the image with you that they use to advertise it because it's incredibly funny.
So back to the Sony part. Know people are going to mod these to make them into Amiibo.
Oh yeah,
definitely.
People already make custom like Amiibo, and they like take the chips or whatever from the actual Amiibo and put them into the different figures or whatever.
I think the most notable thing about these. Oh my god, that's really good.
Oh my god.
That's pretty great.
Little Danny DeVito.
He's so much bigger.
And I showed this to a friend in the pub on Friday, and they went, "Why is he doing a Hitler salute?"
Oh no!
No!
Now I can't unsee it. Okay, but back to the news story.
Well, so I think that the most notable thing about these PlayStation figures too, and no offense if anyone in here saw this and was like, "Fuck yeah, I'm gonna buy all those," but they kind of look like shit if you ask. Like they don't look like Amiibo look like great little toy figures to me, but like the PlayStation ones don't seem like they're that great looking.
Yeah, I was looking at them earlier and they seemed okay, but I have 3 Amiibo and they all are pretty like relatively good figures. Like surprisingly not good, like surprisingly good for what you're paying for them. And so, and also with the stuff in game, it's kind of a no-brainer, the couple that I bought. But yeah. I was looking at pictures of these PlayStation ones, and they don't really look quite as good. I agree.
Like Bloodborne one was sweet, of course, but sorry.
Yeah, but like with Amiibo, like if you pick up the like Bowser wedding Amiibo from Mario Odyssey, you can see like the stitching on his coat. Like the detail they go to is insane, and I have to say I'm not seeing much of that from the Sony one. So they're going to be $9.99, $10.
Who
they're starting out with Bloodborne Hunter, Crash, Parappa, Kratos, the Pfizer FX350 racing ship from Wipeout, Sackboy, and Heihachi.
So, who makes the amiibo? Is it straight out of Nintendo?
Yeah.
So who makes the what's it called? Totakus?
Totaku.
Is that out of Sony, or do you know if they're like licensing them to a third party?
I think it's
They're being sold through ThinkGeek.
Yeah.
And made by ThinkGeek, actually. Made by and
Oh.
sold through ThinkGeek.
Oh, so those will be in GameStops.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I'll never see those.
Maybe they'll come to game. Who knows?
Why are we still
No.
talking about this?
Yeah, this is the best
Fine.
news story of the week, right?
It was the first, not the best. So next we have one of my favorite of two of these. It is that John Cena is in talks to play Duke Nukem in a Duke Nukem movie.
Oh yeah, I saw that.
I like John Cena too.
I saw so many people, and I agree. When I first saw the image of John Cena and talking about him being in a video game, I immediately thought it was going to be Wolfenstein, and so I was like, "Oh, there's going to be a Wolfenstein movie! Sign me up!" And then I was like, Duke Nukem. It's like, oh, never mind. I'm not that excited.
Oh,
But-
for
thanks.
Duke
but-
Nukem.
But
No.
isn't it also coming from Michael Bay?
Yeah.
It's not. It's from his like production company.
Oh, okay.
His direct involvement is not confirmed.
Could you imagine a Duke Nukem movie written by Michael Bay?
Oh my god.
That could be good. Pain and Gain is a
Pain and Gain was-
fantastic movie.
I was just going to mention Pain and Gain.
Transformers are all trash, but like Pain and Gain is like I really enjoy that movie. So if like that Michael Bay shows up,
Yep.
Bad Boys
when
1 and
was-
2 are
Michael Bay,
okay.
Yeah.
but I don't. They shouldn't do this.
The Michael Bay that has The Rock slap Tony Shalhoub with a 12-inch dildo and then apologize afterwards. That's the Michael Bay I want to turn on.
Just like Duke Nukem, though, like as a character, should be buried as far under a layer of detritus so that we never have to encounter that thing ever again. Though, right? Like, it's terrible.
I mean,
It
I agree.
it could be done well, but it'd have to be just laughing at Duke the
Super
entire time.
tongue in cheek. Yeah.
It's like I guess I just didn't grow up with Duke Nukem, but was there ever a point people were sincerely loving the character of Duke Nukem? Like, I mean,
People definitely.
people did, but it's just like it feels so far removed from reality now. I mean, like everybody was like Duke Nukem Forever was such a thing for so long, and then it bombed so bad. But that's literally the only thing people have talked about him, like for a very long time. So I don't know.
so I'm holding this up for the video people. This is what came in 1996 with the pre-order of Duke Nukem, because
Oh hey,
we did pre-order that, and you know what? Duke Nukem was great in 1996,
Yeah.
but I don't think Duke Nukem holds up today, man.
Yeah. That's kind of my point.
You could do something with it, but
I think
the question, I don't think they will.
the
And they
better
should
thing that you
leave John Cena alone.
the thing that I could see being great is if John Cena was in a movie that was sort of a direct parody / making fun of Duke Nukem specifically. Like, if they made that movie and I guess called it Duke Nukem, then maybe it could be okay. But it would have to be like not just tongue in cheek, but a teardown of that character. I think.
Yeah.
I think it's
Yeah.
Last Action Hero, but with Duke Nukem.
Yeah.
And instead of a little boy, it's a woman, like a feminist or whatever. And she's like, Duke, you can't do this. And he's like, whatever.
Yeah, pretty much.
Naked baby.
All
And
right,
then he
if it
dies
was
at the end.
Yeah.
if it was a new Last Action Hero, I could kind of get behind that.
As long as he dies at the end.
Yeah,
Like
Speaking
culturally,
of action heroes.
Those alien bastards shot up my Tesla.
But speaking
very
of.
least.
Carry on. I was going to make a segue, but you go.
I was just gonna say that at the very least, John Cena has the right look more than anything else. If they're
That's
gonna
true.
cast somebody, he looks the part.
I want to see him in a terrible wig.
and
Really
sunglasses.
Also,
bad, like
he's
yellow
a
mullet.
he's a good comedic actor. He's
Yeah.
not very good as a serious actor at all, but
Yeah.
he's funny when he's in funny roles. So maybe that's the route that they're thinking they take with it. But I don't see Michael Bay making that movie, like the actually good one where it's a teardown of that character.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So, in other news, I've got some date stuff. I'm going to throw all the date stuff together right now, and we can talk about anything we.
Like wine, dine. Where are we going?
Yeah.
Hey, Valentine's Day's coming up.
Anthem is delayed to 2019. I never knew
No,
that.
it's not. It was never coming out in 2018.
Yeah,
Anthem is never coming out. Period.
I'm with Pat. I think that game's never coming out.
They're gonna shutter that studio before that game comes out.
Aw.
100%.
Don't worry, they'll shutter the studio. The good people that have left will meet up with the good people that have stayed, and then they'll kickstart some really awesome, like spiritual successor to the original Mass Effect, and then we can all be happy.
Here's hoping.
Speaking of things being shut down, Mitomo, Nintendo's first smartphone app, is shutting down on my birthday.
Oh,
what a present straight to me from Mr. Miyamoto.
Thank God that thing was just garbage. I played like 3 months of it, but it was garbage.
Yeah, I've seen some people say, "Oh, I'm still playing it," but the vast majority of everybody I know downloaded it, played it for like a day, and then stopped. It's I don't know
for an
any
entire
many
train
people
journey.
that are still into it.
It just like asked you questions, and you tried to get a hot dog suit.
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
That's it.
R.I.P. Mitomo.
Also, in other date-related news, God of War is coming out on 420.
Hell
Sorry,
yeah.
24 in the correct game nomenclature.
Oh, give me
Nice.
like 10
Nice.
seconds and I'll have some air horns for you.
You gotta warn
That
them.
is legitimately my birthday, so I'm actually like, "Oh, game on my birthday," but then everybody goes nice and like, okay.
That was because he was too stoned. So he was like, "Oh shit, hold on."
Nice.
So do we say we think God of War is going to be a good game?
Yeah. It
I
looks
think it's
good.
going to be great.
Like the stuff I've
I
seen
am
from it
intrigued.
so far looks pretty good.
Okay.
I don't give a shit about the old God of Wars, but that one looks pretty great.
I hate
Exactly.
the old God of Wars.
I feel like I
So-
haven't seen enough to tell me if like I enjoyed the first 3 games. I did not care about Ascension, but I don't know if I've seen enough to make me convinced that like I need to go back to the series. I am intrigued by things about it, but will it be enough to like get me there day one? I don't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Just looks a little bit too much like, I don't know. I haven't paid close enough attention. I should watch some more footage on it. It looks like kind of like this is Norse Witcher, but not really because it's God of War, so it's not as open world. But
I think it's Last of Us.
Yeah,
think
more
it-
Last of Us
I
than,
think it's just The Last of Us.
maybe that would make more sense.
With good
I like
combat,
that even
finally.
less, but
How many do you think that game has a lot of full motion or sorry, not full motion video, QuickTime events?
oh man, an
No.
FMV.
I don't know.
I don't think it will.
I feel like QuickTime events have fallen out of favor, so I don't know if they'll necessarily like.
Guys, keep a secret, but I love QuickTime events.
Oh, Asura's Wrath rocks.
Yeah, there's nothing
I
wrong
don't
with them.
I don't really care about them. It's just I feel like I don't know. I feel like things are moving away from those in games. So
So, like, I can't do cool shit. So if someone else could do the cool shit and I just press triangle twice, like, I'm in. Like, sell me that game.
that's
That's
fair.
all.
That's fair.
Given the fact that David Jaffe's not involved in this one, I wonder if that might
I don't even think he was involved in 3.
really. Okay, I thought he was, but that could be the case. But that always felt like a him thing.
Oh,
Dates
speaking of
stuff.
wait, hold on. Speaking of David
Carry on.
Jaffe, I don't know if this is in your news stuff, but
It isn't.
the studio that made Drawn to Death just got massive layoffs.
Ugh.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a bummer. That game did not seem good.
Yeah.
So that kind of expected probably, but it is a bummer that all those people lost their jobs. Hopefully they find some something else.
It's an incredible moment that those people lost their jobs. But Drawn to Death did give us the compilation of Dan Reichert doing Drawn to Death lines that's on YouTube, which is exceedingly good. That I'd recommend to everyone.
Internet
It
Dan
took a
is
long time
yeah.
for those layoffs to hit.
Yeah,
Yeah.
it did.
Yeah, Internet Dan
Next
is a force of nature.
Next on the list we have got Dead Cells coming to console.
Hell yeah.
So I've heard some love for Dead Cells here, and it's going to Switch and Xbox and PS4.
Yes, it is.
Great.
Yeah.
Great.
I'm gonna
That is
buy
a
it
game
on
I would
every
buy.
platform.
That is a game I would get on Switch. I already own it in early access on PC though, so
Yeah.
I don't know that I actually will. But that'd be
I
I've
was
never actually
tempted
played that,
to buy
but
it.
I definitely want to get it. So Switch might be the platform.
They said no release date. It's literally just we're working on it. But thought it'd be something cool to mention, as I know we've got some fans in the house.
Mm-hmm.
Up next, we've got another game coming to Switch, and guys, I think this is something you may not like. It's pretty big gaming news, but it broke last week.
Stop
So
teasing me.
Hello Kitty Cruisers, spelled with a K,
Fuck
is coming
yeah.
to Switch. Hello Kitty Cruisers is important because it is the rarest game for the Wii U. It currently sells for around $280 on eBay.
Oh jeez.
Jeez.
I didn't know that.
And is the majority of people's the hole in Wii U collectors' libraries. It's being released physical and digital for the Switch. It's based on an iOS game.
Awesome. Just like Hidden My
Basically.
Game by Mom 2.
Do you think
They
they
fixed
think,
the spelling on it or the name on it, so
They
it
did.
makes sense.
It's
you think
Okay.
people buy it because they don't they've wanted it on Wii U and the price is so high because it's like whoever makes it doesn't understand the reason behind that?
Do you know what? I'm definitely going to buy this game. I'm going to keep it sealed in the back of my drawer and just be like, this is my kid's college fund.
It's like Bitcoin. It's like you're buying Bitcoin,
Yeah.
you're like
Like
50
Bitcoin.
cent. You're just gonna forget about it.
but it's a bad video
In other
game.
news, I still haven't got my Bitcoin yet. I don't know how to
Yeah, I
get it.
guess if you bought bad video games in place of Bitcoin and the value was the same, at least you'd have a bad video game.
When the blockchain dies, I still own 2 copies of 50 Cent Blood on the Sand.
Ooh.
We go to inevitably switch to the 50 cent blood on the sand standard.
Yeah, the standard.
So, okay,
God!
Oh no.
I didn't mean
did
it.
you all? So this, did you all know that Hello Kitty isn't a cat?
No, I knew that. Yeah.
I didn't know that.
Is she a funny animal?
No. So this is a quote from from Sanrio, like the people who own Hello Kitty.
Mhm.
Hello Kitty is not a cat. She's a cartoon character. She is a little girl. She is a friend, but she is not a cat. She is never depicted on all fours.
I mean, that tracks with like the is Mario a person argument. So
Allegra Frank,
Hello
who wrote
Kitty also-
the
Sorry.
Allegra Frank, who wrote the Polygon article, said she looked for reviews, and the most positive take she found was someone saying it was not the worst game I've ever played.
That's quality right there. I
Yeah.
just want to say Hello Kitty does have a pet cat, so that also makes things a little bit more complicated.
And I'm just on this. She's never depicted on all fours. I'm gonna call shenanigans. If you go on DeviantArt, I'm sure you can find it.
oh god. No. On that note, let's get away from that
You
subject.
you can find everything on all fours on DeviantArt. I'm just going to say it now.
No.
So it's been announced for a spring 2018 Switch re-release, and it's not a new game. It is just the Wii U game ported over. There's a trailer on YouTube if you want to watch it. I haven't watched it, but the title made me laugh a lot. It's also
We can't-
Hello
It's
Kitty Cruisers Triple
We,
A.
can, we can't talk about Hello Kitty Cruisers for longer than God of War 4.
I think this is very on brand for us. And Cruisers is spelt with a K, like Mortal Kombat. So I'm taking it as canon that it's in the
Oh.
Mortal Kombat series.
Is Ed Boon? Did Ed Boon make this game?
It doesn't say in the article that Ed Boon didn't make it.
Oh
Exactly.
man.
That's what I was going to say. Who knows?
Process of elimination.
You know, he had some time between Injustice and whatever the next Mortal Kombat game is.
So I have one more news story, and I saved it for last because I think it's actually kind of interesting, and I don't know whether you guys might find it completely uninteresting, and then it's a big old flop. But Facebook today announced that it is going to let game streamers who stream on Facebook monetize their streams. So they're piloting it out to a few people. And I don't know, I thought this was super interesting, just kind of seeing
Sorry.
a different platform.
Are they monetizing it in that streamers can advertise, or in that they can have subscribers on Facebook?
Facebook is introducing a new monetization for game streamers as it tends to hop into the ring with YouTube and Twitch. Facebook is actively exploring ways for fans to back their favorite gaming creators via payments during select live streams on Facebook.
Gotcha. So donations.
So
tips.
Yeah, it looks like a tip line. Alex, you stream a little bit on Facebook. Do you stream games on there at all?
Nope. Well, I have. I've done Extra Life over Facebook, but I'm also not a prolific streamer. You should talk to Erica about that, and if their highly successful, wonderful stream is ever going to come to the Facebook platform.
Yeah.
I mean, well, this is the first I'm hearing that Facebook is going to allow this, so I don't know yet. But
So Facebook is doing a terrible job of reaching their target market.
Yeah.
Yeah. So yeah, I mean, I feel like they're pretty good about showing me the ads they think are relevant to me, and I'm surprised they didn't tell me this kind of thing based on the amount of my own Twitch stream links I post on Facebook. But yeah, I don't know. Maybe I just feel like Facebook for me, I'm on it plenty, but it's my least favorite of the social medias I use at this point. So
Yep.
I don't see myself actively seeking this, maybe. But at the same time, sorry, go ahead. What were
No,
you gonna say?
you go ahead and finish.
Okay. So at the same time, though, like, everybody I know pretty much has a Facebook, but not everybody I know has a Twitch, so it would be more likely for, my family members to pop in or something,
Yeah.
But who knows?
Yeah. So that's kind of
Sorry.
what I stream a lot on. Well, I used to kind of actually before I knew you guys. I was streaming at least twice a week on Facebook, just like playing guitar. Nothing like good. I'm not like a great guitarist. I would just like play covers of whatever songs I was listening to that week and just hang out. And I also have done in the past few years a lot of streaming on Twitch. Of games. And whenever I stream on Twitch, I get like one or two people that are friends of mine that happen to get the email update that I'm streaming. Whereas when I was streaming guitar stuff, when I was doing it solid for a few months, I think Facebook's algorithms, if you do it regularly, tend to be more likely to put it in front of people. So I was getting streams with 30, 40, 50, 60 people just coming in on Facebook, and that was without any promotion. I just would go live and then do it. So I think that it could be a really cool tool for people that stream games because you already have a built-in set of followers with Facebook friends.
Yeah.
I think it'd be really interesting. One of the biggest problems I see, I don't know if it's really a problem, it's just an observation that is very obvious to me right now, is the fact that on Twitch you have usernames and on Facebook you have real names.
Yeah.
And I wonder if that means the audience that's involved is going to be less shitty or more shitty.
I think
A little bit of both,
yeah.
I think.
Well, yeah. What I was thinking about is like I don't know who's actually going to Twitch and scrolling through and like, oh, what stream am I going to watch? I feel like people usually find, oh, I like this streamer, I'm going to watch them.
Yeah.
Or the same with YouTube. So like that built-in subscriber thing that Pat just mentioned, I think makes a lot of sense because you'll probably get like the people from like their fan page or whatever streaming directly from that, but you'll probably also get people who are just like their friends pop in or whatever, and
yeah,
or they get people through that like hostile audience kind of.
Yeah.
Well, you can do things like you can tag, like if Alex and I do a stream of something, we can tag each other. I can tag him in the stream or vice versa, and then all of our friends combined seeing that in their feed. So there are ways that you can get a pretty wide audience using Facebook pretty quick if you do it right.
Yeah.
Yeah, like I think about the number of like times Facebook shows me videos that are not things like live streams that I would not normally want to see, like those people opening up those oyster things and getting the pearls out and selling them to you. Like I get those recommended to me all the time, and I don't know why. But I can see that kind of thing popping up a lot.
I have no idea what you're talking about.
It's like it's one of those like MLM like pyramid scheme things where they like are trying to sell you like a number of oysters, and then they open them for you, and then there are these like pearls that they shoved in there because you're not guaranteeing pearls in most oysters, but it's just it's unusual.
This is maybe just a personal opinion. I don't know if I would trust Facebook as much as I trust Amazon. Like I know that's weird. It's because I'm a developer. I use Amazon services all the time, and I just know some weird horror stories out of Facebook, like just the way they handle their data, the way that they handle privacy. Yeah. I would have some worries about Facebook just in the long road, especially if I were to be a streamer that had a successful stream. I don't know if partnering with Facebook would be as appealing as partnering with Twitch and Amazon.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
But
when you were live streaming Guitar Pad, were your live streams like public? Could anyone watch, or was it just friends?
Yeah, I put it public, and then I would get mostly people that I knew, but there sometimes people that were just random people would show up. I don't know if they were friends of friends, or if it was because it was public, it was showing up places. It shouldn't have showed up in random people's streams unless I was paying for it. It's like you have to pay for placement on people's feeds that aren't just on your friends list or on friends of friends lists.
Yep.
But
But by the way, Sam, can I inject one other piece of news that's kind of rumor news?
Oh, definitely.
Apparently, well, we saw it earlier this week. Atlas put out some kind of survey asking if they would like to see Persona games coming to the Switch or other platforms such as PC.
Atlas,
no, fuck
let
that.
Me give me
no.
some more money, please.
Keep it off my platform.
PS4 only.
Yeah, seriously.
No, PS3 only.
There are people who are answering like that, though.
Oh, whatever.
I mean, there are, but what percentage?
I'm not saying like but there are people who are saying no, fuck that platform.
Gives me a reason to put this off. Push Persona 6 off until, or Persona 5 off. I'm saying, and Persona 6 off until they release it on Switch.
If they re-released Persona 1 through 5 on Switch, I would buy them all at full price, and I would replay them all.
Yeah, same.
If they did, if they did like the Persona 3 portable kind of treatment to Persona 4 and 5, where you can play as a female lead, that would be amazing.
Yeah.
I
would expect that.
What isn't the thing in Persona 3 like a different like part of the game though, or like a different thing, or is it actually just the same game with a different protagonist?
It's from the start, if I remember correctly. I played about
The portable edition has some differences in the core gameplay from the original, but the storylines aren't necessarily different at all.
Okay.
Yeah, it's the same from the start, but there is a load of extra content in FES.
I've got a news story that is notable. Paragon, Epic's free-to-play, or eventual free-to-play MMO, has been canceled. It was in early access on PS4 and PC. I don't think it was on Xbox. I think it was a PlayStation exclusive.
Yeah, it was.
And they have announced that it will be shutting down in April, maybe. But notable, they are giving people who bought, I think it's only bought things in-game, full refunds.
Interesting. Good for them. They should.
But you compare that to Marvel Heroes shutting down at the end of last year, and people having that would have been out on console for like 4 months or something. And
I bought that on console. I bought the early access.
Not able to get any refunds for like buying currency and characters and stuff. It is what it sounded like. I didn't follow up on that, but that's a good move. Interesting that Epic feels they're able to do that. I guess they have Tencent money behind them.
So
But
I think they have Fortnite money.
Yeah, I think it's.
Yeah,
I think it's
so-
100% Fortnite.
but the part of Fortnite that has people buying it is free to play, or like playing it is free to play.
You can buy stuff now. You can buy
True.
battle passes, and they only last a couple months. I think that they're getting a
Nice.
lot of money on those.
as someone who purchased the current season battle pass a few days ago, they last exactly one. Also, Fortnite Battlegrounds. I didn't talk about what are we playing. It's actually pretty fun.
Yeah.
I really like it. Yeah.
Yeah, Cheska and I have played
The group stream.
probably. Yeah, we've played probably like 40, 50 rounds overall. It's pretty good.
Yeah.
It's
It's
way
like
different than
laid-back
PUBG. Yeah, it's way different. It's way more arcadey, which is a good thing. But
It's more like chill. Like I can come home from work and play that for an hour or two, and not like when I play PUBG. It's such a great game, but like I feel like my nerves are shot by the end of it. It's not relaxing. It's
Yeah.
not like it's not something I can wind down with. But Fortnite, totally. It's just like, who cares? Everything's a lot more forgiving.
yeah, rip
But,
Paragon.
anyway, it's too bad. That game was really cool. It was a MOBA. It was like kind of like a
Smite?
third person. It was Smite. It's kind of like Smite. Not as good as I don't think we've been over this. I love Smite like really intensely and Paladins. I'm like a very, very big high-res fanboy, and I have been since Smite came out. So, but Paragon was different than Smite. It was a little more action-y than even Smite is. So it's too bad to see it go, but
I only played it a little bit right when it came out. I wonder if I can get a refund for just buying the game. I don't think so. I think it has to be for like in-game purchases.
I thought I saw something saying that people who paid for founders packs were able to get refunds on those.
Oh, okay. Well, yeah, if I can do that, then I'll try to get that like $20 or
refund.
whatever back.
in V-Bucks for Fortnite Battle Royale.
No,
I think I'd
I'm
be
looking
okay
at
with that personally.
the page here, and it asks what kind of card. They PayPal it to you. It seems like PayPal you your
Wow.
refund.
That's awesome.
That's
good.
really cool.
Dude, sorry.
Yeah.
I don't know what this just reminded me. Did you see HQ last Sunday?
Maybe.
I think
No.
I did.
They gave away $20,000 because it's the Sunday game,
Yeah.
and they had 7 winners.
Oh, I see it to the
I
end.
think,
I
yeah, I think
tapped
I
out.
saw
That's
that.
Yeah, like everybody walked away with like $2,000. It was crazy.
That's great.
Wow.
I
Wow.
could use that.
Same.
Yeah.
Yep.
I'll pay for some of my wedding.
Yeah.
Some of. Speaking of paying for my wedding, there's no good segue for that. Sorry, guys.
Say, did you score some advertiser? Great.
Yeah.
Squarespace.
You sent you my
Yeah.
PayPal.
Everybody type Gaming Fix into Blue Apron.
You can't say that. You can't say that.
Stamps.com. We're
You're just-
sponsored by
Now they're not
Stamps.com.
now they're not going to pay us because you're giving them all this free advertising.
Oh, damn it.
It's okay. He's leading
well-
leading them to a fake address. It's fine.
Yeah. Well, this
Andre
has been
was
the
like,
Monster
I
Energy
didn't
Hour.
know way. From you're doing it again. All of the stuff that he was working on.
I'm gonna go buy stamps.capcom right now, and then put just a form to fill out with credit card information. How much do you want to send us?
And then just write at the bottom, Blue Apron, question mark. But unless we've got any more news, I think that's probably us for the week.
So, I do
Yeah.
have one bit of news
Oh.
that's really quick and funny. It's 2 weeks into the Overwatch League, and 2 players have already been fined. One for being a total asshole that will hopefully get dropped from his team for some homophobic shit that he said to an openly gay player. And then the other was just flipped off the camera when the stream went over his face. So really, we're off to a great start in the Overwatch League. One deserved major controversy, and then one guy that was just being a
Being a dick.
dumbass.
That's wonderful.
Yeah. So, again, speaking of being a dumbass on camera,
That's $1,000
Fine.
to your finger, Sam.
The FCC is gonna.
You can't charge me in dollars, son.
George
you can
Carlin,
just me
7
straight
figures
to
you
the
can't
US.
show on TV.
That'll be us, I think, for the week at Gaming Fix. We didn't actually mention at the top of the podcast that that's what we're going to be going with from now on.
Yay.
Yay.
We chose Fix because it's kind of a nonsense word, but it's easy to tell people. So Fix is spelled F-Y
What?
for Yankee, and then X.
Why are you trying to ruin the mystique?
Oh, sorry. Fix is spelled however you want to spell it.
No,
I
that's
mean,
not
we
what
don't want to
I
have
actually
mystique when it
meant.
comes to people finding our podcast.
I really like Fix is spelled
Yeah.
however you want to spell it. I want to just say that's a great tagline, but also it's spelled a very specific way.
It's spelled however you want to spell it, but it is actually spelled this way.
But it's actually spelled FYI. So
Fix is
Yeah.
spelled
Uh,
blueapron.com/
stamps /
Fix is spelled PayPal.me /
if we ever get sponsored, I want to make our PayPal our sponsorship code either stamps.com or Blue Apron
No.
or whatever it is. That's what I want it to be.
So it's like, go to stamps.com/blueapron for
Yep,
Yeah.
that's exactly what I want.
Squarespace.com
uses
/
stamps.com?
stamps.
They 100% have to use stamps.com. It's like,
Nobody uses
Mandated.
stamps.com.
They're
So-
legally required to use stamps.com. If you send anything through the mail, you have to use stamps.
I don't want
You
to
need
out this
stop
person
this.
too much, but a close family member of mine, and I got them into podcasts over the past few weeks, and I received a text message from them. There was like one of the podcasts they're listening to, they advertised these Bombas socks, and like I got a text message from him earlier this week that was like, fucking help me, I just ordered Bombas socks, what did you do to my life? He's now purchasing all the products that he hears about on this podcast.
We need to stop talking about this.
My 100% favorite tweet of last year was somebody tweeting, "Wow, man, I feel like I'm 2 podcasts away from actually subscribing to stamps.com." On that note, please visit stamps.com /Blue Apron. Please rate and
Don't
review
visit
us.
any website except for
Don't visit any website.
unofficial.tk, which may change in the future.
100%. Yeah.
But yeah, so rate and review us on iTunes if we're on iTunes. I don't know.
I haven't gotten the email. I don't know.
I just
Comment on
tried
our
bad
SoundCloud.
I just try and make bad comedy for 90 minutes and then go to bed. Alex does all the actual hard work.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
thanks for Alex. We're going to probably stream some Monster Hunter. I'm sure Andre and I at least will be able to stream tomorrow because weirdly his evening and my afternoon line up quite well. But yeah, so yeah, thanks everybody for listening. I have been Sam, and you've been listening to some other people, starting with Alex, our technical director, top dog, stream master.
Yeah. Google me and don't forget to clean your lint traps.
Yeah, so fire hazard. And Allison.
Hi, you can find me at meundies.com /blueapron. No.
Andre's just keeping it on the down low, but he's got a sponsorship from Sweet Garden, so.
Yes, I'm just personally sponsored from anybody here.
I think that I have to say, I think every episode of the podcast we've mentioned Dragon Ball, the Sweet Garden joke about HQ being sponsored, and Danganronpa V3
Hell yeah.
every single week.
I normally don't talk about Dragon Ball this much, but that game has me excited. I've been watching Super. It'll end soon.
Mm-hmm. You do you, buddy.
We'll continue to talk about Danganronpa V3 every week.
Great.
Yeah.
I need to cut my fingernails too.
And Andre, you're also on this podcast.
Yeah, I need to cut my fingernails too, and you can find me on Twitter at CoolSlaw. A is a 4, cool like COOL.
And Erica?
So I'll be streaming Yakuza 0 in about an hour on It's
My
been sweet
favorite
to
stream
find
on
you.
Twitch, man. It's great. Watch it.
Yeah, Alex comes in like almost every day, and he's just like, "Oh wow, my favorite Twitch streamers are live right now." I'm like, "Aw."
That's great.
Oh, I love
Nice.
it.
That could be very antagonistic.
And then we've got Pat.
Yep, you can find me on Twitter and Twitch at JesterPC. I'll try to stream some of our Monster Hunter tomorrow if we do it.
Definitely. And also, you can find me on Twitter and Instagram and Twitch and everywhere with the same. I am SGCH. Those are my initials, and I won't tell you what any of them stand for.
Samantha Geraldo Harriet.
You're close.
Perfect.
And I'll see you guys next week.
I forgot
All
to
right.
Bye.
see
Thanks for listening. Please like and subscribe.
Bye, everyone.
Bye, everybody.
Charles.
Okay, Cupid's pretty
Samantha.
cool.
Samantha Geraldo Charles Harriet.
Well, I actually have to go for real and go to bed. But you guys can keep talking about your Blue Apron sponsorship. The Blue Apron /stamps.com. Also, I want stamps.com to be written out in full text. Stamps, DOTCOM.
Oh yeah, yeah, of course.
What if I could? Do you think you can buy stamps.com.com?
No,
Probably not.
I guess it's not available.
I've already bought 2 URLs this week. I'm tapped out.
This podcast is over.
I assume the podcast ended when we said goodbye.
it's not over until we mention Casper mattresses.
Oh my god.
Hey.
And Crunchyroll.
Unlimited.
Yep, anime. All the anime.
Dollar Shave Club.
Dollar Shave Club. Harry's. Stitch Fix.
Dollar Shave Club / Harry's.
Stamps.com is available.
No, but what about stamps.com.com?
I don't know.
That
It's
needs
tough.
to
I
be
can't
there.
see.
I'd like that to redirect to our website, please. Yeah, thanks everyone. Great talking as always, and I will speak to you next week.
Good night.
All right.
Bye.
Night. Bye.
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 Good morning.